Hi there, Hasan. Nice to see you sent in an essay for us to review. Let's see what this topic is and what you wrote. Some people think that exercise and good diet are not necessary for a healthy and long life. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Interesting. Let's see what you said. It is sometimes argued that doing exercise and consuming proper food are not essential in order to maintain healthy body and long life. I completely disagree with this statement, and this essay will provide some argument to support some arguments, plural, not just one argument, to support my opinion. Okay, fine. To begin with, there are several reasons why doing physical activity is vital for a healthy life. Perhaps the main reason is that regular exercise helps reduce stress. This is because daily physical activity results in raising the levels of serotonin in blood, leading to feeling positive, energetic, and wonderful. Furthermore, another key argument in support of this idea is that doing exercise constantly has a positive effect on heart and vessels, on the heart and vessels. There's only one heart, okay? So, for example, evidence from media is that taking moderate exercise regularly prevents people from cardiovascular, it's an A here, diseases effectively. This means that people who have an active lifestyle tend to live long. Okay, fair enough. Another point to consider is that eating rich food is important for living long and healthy. What do you mean by rich? Do you mean nutritious food? Because when we think of rich food, we usually mean food that is very dense in terms of calories and in terms of fat. So be careful. I'm not sure if that's what you mean. You might mean nutritious food here. Okay, let's see. The primary argument of supporting this idea is that consuming food which contains high levels of antioxidants protects people from diseases. For instance, if people eat vegetables, plural, daily, it will prevent them from serious illnesses like cancer. Get rid of the A, which is the most preventable cause of death in the world. In addition, it appears to me that poor diet causes hair loss. Get rid of this A. This is because hair follicles, S, need minerals and essential vitamins to grow well. If people do not have an adequate diet, they might suffer from severe illnesses. Okay. I liked everything so far. I can't really say that I was super crazy about this idea about hair loss because it's talking about health and long life. And I don't think that hair loss is relevant to this. I think a lot of people in the medical community even would say that hair loss is just, something genetic and it has nothing to do really with diet and so forth. So it's not really a health issue or a long life issue. So that's something I would have left out. It just feels irrelevant and it doesn't feel like it's really supporting your argument here. I would have instead written something else maybe. Let's see. Okay, so in conclusion, I fully disagree with the idea that, or the argument that regular exercise and sensible diet are not necessary for a healthy life and long life expectancy. In my opinion, physical exercise helps to relieve stress, and a good diet reduces the risk of disease. Because of these reasons, THESE, plural, exercise and nutritious diet lead to health and a long life. You could have said that. All right, it's fine. It's fine. It's nice. You did a lot of things I liked. You definitely developed your answers, even though I really disagreed with this. The structure, the coherence and cohesion is well controlled. The grammar is good. For the most part, you have little minor errors, but they're basic things. So like missing S's, missing articles, those sorts of things. Other than that, the grammar is good. The vocabulary was quite good. I liked it. There is one thing that I'm going to invite you to think about here. So clearly you disagree with this. My question to you is, why might people think this? Why might people think that a good diet and exercise are not necessary? Can you think of any reasons why people might argue this? And if there is absolutely any validity to this at all? That's what I would invite you to think about, okay? And that's something that potentially you could have written about in this first body paragraph. So, what could those reasons possibly have been that people might say this? Well, first of all, people might say that key, as you mentioned further down somewhere, is stress. So a lot of people might think that rather than exercising and having a good diet, what's really important for them is to lead a stress-free life. And so they, they enjoy their hamburgers and they enjoy their, wine or their, cigarettes and maybe a sedentary lifestyle. But what they do aim to do is lead a very stress-free life, filled with, fun and friends and family and, rich foods that may theoretically be bad for them. But what they have managed to master is low levels of stress, okay? And then the other reason that people might think this is that a lot of our long life is really determined by our DNA. So some people we see, they, they do things that are theoretically, again, bad for their health, like eat a poor diet or don't exercise, or maybe they smoke cigarettes or do something else that is considered negative for our health, and yet they manage to lead healthier and longer lives than people who do actually follow these kinds of instructions. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is just give you some food for thought here on how you could have enriched this essay to potentially get a higher score. So if you had talked about those ideas in that first body paragraph, you could have then, in your next body paragraph, refuted them with some of the things that you talked about here. So you could say that while the above reasons might, while they might, be true for some people, the majority of people on the planet do not fall into this category of people who can essentially abuse their bodies and abuse their health and yet remain healthy. All right, and then you could have talked about all the reasons that you said underneath. All right, it's just another way of looking at this, and I'm suggesting this to you because at the higher band scores, like at the really higher band scores, they are looking for a fuller, more rounded essay rather than an essay that just deals with one side of the argument. Okay? Something to think about. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I thought it was nicely written. So hopefully we'll get to see more essays from you. See if you can maybe apply some of the things that I talked about in this correction and in your future essays, and I look forward to reading more of them. Good luck.